Oh man, guys, welcome to the Cover Price New Comic Book Day show for March 3rd. Joining me tonight is my brother Gabe. Jeb could not be here tonight, and that's probably because he probably is trying to like butter up his LCS or something, because he gave us a story. I'm not believing him. This has got to be one of the heaviest new comic book day weeks of 2026 so far.
Dude, this is a marathon of a new comic book day. So I hope everybody's ready. I hope everybody's excited. I hope you got your LCS ready to go. I hope you got your pull boxes ready to go, because there's some heavy hitters on this week's list.
Yep.
A lot of not heavy hitters, like we're not talking spec at all. That's not what we're here about, right? But I'm talking about good books, great new issues, second prints of some hot books. Plus, everybody stick around. We have a special guest on tonight who will be popping up a little bit later in the show. And if that's not enough, not only is it a heavy new comic book day, not only do we have Brett Bean on tonight, we're going to be hanging out with and chatting with. We also got a giveaway today too, Lando, for a Dork #1 special variant thing we got going on. This is the show. This is the way to kick off March. We are kicking off March. No Ides of March here, everybody. We are kicking off March with 2 feet, Spartan style. It's going to be a good day.
Gabe brought the segue. He did the plug. Here you go, guys. Tonight's giveaway is actually going to be Dork #1, the East Coast Comics PXVX variant. And, we got to shout out Cover Price, who's willing to part ways with this, even right now, seeing the heights that this is at. So shout out to Cover Price, the entire crew. And I'm excited to give this away. I mean, I'd be way more excited to get a copy, but obviously we're giving this away to you guys tonight, so do stick around. It's gonna happen, of course, once we finish talking with Brett Bean, who's gonna be joining us at the tail end of the show. So that being said, I think it's time we get into the new comic book day talk, so we can talk about all of the amazing things dropping this week. As Gabe said, man, you're getting first appearances, you're getting some second prints, you're getting some gorgeous covers dropping this week, but we just want to talk about all these books. Make sure that you guys know before you go. Now, one thing I want to say is that Cover Price tracks real comic sales across the market, so collectors can see what's trending, what's selling, and what books people are chasing for their collections. Now, you can follow along on the new comic book day page at the CovrPrice.com website, where you can sort by highest trending books, most expensive releases, or filter even by publisher. You could do so much stuff, and we're going to do all of that, of course, at the end of the show. But as I said, right now, all we want to do is make sure that you guys know before you go to your shops this week. So let's kick it off with the first book that's got to be talked about, man. It's Batman issue #7. This one is the reintroduction of the Joker. That's right. Now, Gabe, I don't know if you gave the last issue a read. We kind of saw pretty much what was happening with Joker here at the end of issue 6. We have the cover A right here, but you could see just a little bit right there. You see it right on the left-hand side. Now, hang tight, dude. You could see a little more when it comes to that. Yeah, man. Check this Molina cover, man. I love this.
Yeah, dude, this is rad. I love this cover. This has been a really good Batman run so far. You know, we're 6 issues in. Matt Fraction's got a lot going on, bro. Like Monarch season 2 just started and everything else like that. Yep. But in terms of this book, last issue, something happened with Tim. I'm not gonna get into spoilers. Something happened with Tim.
Yep.
So going into issue 7, I'm excited for. Also, DC's doing a great job right now of getting people ready, getting me especially excited, because everything kicking off in March is a new jumping on point for almost all of their books. And issue 7 is one of those books. So if people haven't been able to catch up and they haven't been starting off at #1 and they're looking for a good place to jump on, because nobody wants to jump on in the middle of an ongoing story, issue 7, not only is it the return of the Joker and all that great stuff, but it's the start of a new story arc. So this is your jumping on point if you haven't jumped on the boat yet.
Yeah, dude, I'm already like super pumped to give this one a read this week. I know Theros, who shout out to him because he has a heavy hand in the list for tonight, and every single week. But when it comes to this issue, dude, I want to know what's happening with Joker. The reintroduction looks totally like wild, man. I don't know what they're doing with him, and I feel like we're gonna see him issue 7, issue 8. Like I want to know.
Yeah.
I'm all in on Batman. So yes, this is a automatic pickup. I picked up cover A and I actually picked up this cover. So shout out to Lefteros. I don't know. Maybe he's looking at my orders. I don't know. Is that what's going on?
Or maybe he's influencing your orders.
Yeah,
right?
probably.
Because that Discord is dangerous sometimes.
It is. It's
in a good way and in a bad way. Like, oh, I didn't know about this book coming out, or that's a really cool cover. I got to add it to my list, right? So.
Yep. Exactly. But yes, Batman 7 coming out this week.
Cool.
But moving on from Batman 7, guys, obviously we got to talk some Batgirl, issue 17. Here we've got the cover A when it comes to Batgirl. And basically, Batgirl gains the abilities of the blood, which the power to wield and control her blood like a weapon. So I don't know if you can see what's going on there.
It makes sense now. I see it. I go, I didn't know what was going on until you mentioned it.
Yeah, cool. Exactly. So I'm curious to see now. Obviously, Batgirl, man, there's a huge Batgirl fan base, and I'm sure you get yourself a little bit of a key issue here when it comes to Batgirl. She's gonna have this new ability. Kind of curious to see how she's gonna put this to work. You know what I mean? Like, how does she end up pulling this off? But hold on, guys, because I also said with Gabe at the very beginning of this show, there are some banger covers dropping this week as well. And what do we get? Well, we got Eom doing what Eom does best. Amazing covers as such. Man, Batgirl, dude, looks amazing here. The yellow is probably like such a great choice for the background here. Love this.
Yeah, I'm trying to see like some more of the background. There's like, haha, is that a Joker face going on? I don't know if that's connected to Batman. Who knows? But this is a bad cover. Bad as in like, badass. Michael Jackson bad. Again, I haven't been reading the Batgirl because I've been out of DC stuff for a long time.
Yeah,
I love Cassandra Cain. I remember she first showed up during like No Man's Land. I'm jumping on with this issue. I want to see what's going on. I like this idea. This is kind of blood control power. I'm in on this book, dude. Like, I'm jumping in at this point. Again, DC's taking a lot of my money. I'm trying out a bunch of new books.
Yeah.
I'm loving all their initiatives. They got me hooked in. Cassandra Cain, like I said, I loved her since the beginning. I loved her original series, and I'm here. This is it for me, and I love this cover. I'm gonna pick this up if they have it at my store.
Wonderful cover, and as you can see, DJ Robot in the chat saying, "I will buy anything Eon puts out, especially if it's cover prices and not exclusive prices." Amen,
bro. Wait till you see some of this. Might have already seen it, but what's up, Lando.
Yep.
Those like Lobo covers he's got coming out. Some of those all-in, next level covers, bro. Like,
we are being.
If you like EM covers, you're gonna love this next level stuff, dude.
Yeah, we're being spoiled, man. But moving on from Batgirl, guys, and we're sticking with the DC theme here. We got Absolute Superman issue 17. We're getting the first full appearance of Absolute Parasites, and of course the cover. I guess we can pretty much confirm at this point that big kaiju thing that you saw at the end, within the last issue, this is exactly it. We're getting Absolute Parasite, who seems to be that person. So, that kaiju. So yeah, pretty cool.
I also like the idea this is the origin of Absolute Lex Luthor. We saw him when we first see him, Absolute Evil, and he was just kind of a normal dude living a normal life kind of thing with hair, which I'm a little jealous of, but that's life. But yeah, you're getting Absolute Lex Luthor backstory, his origin. So this is another good issue to pick up for that. Yeah,
shout out to the chat for rocking with us, man. But Prime One Collector asking, is Absolute Superman any good? Absolutely. I dig it, dude. It's not entirely my all-time favorite when it comes to the Absolute stuff, but I would say it's in there in the top 3.
It's Jason Aaron working. He's putting in work on that on this title for sure. I love everything Jason Aaron's ever done for the most part, and this is another good one. Hair is overrated. Yeah, man. Hair is overrated. What a waste of time. Cutting hair, washing it, all that stuff.
Coming from Gabe, there's no surprise there. But moving on, DCKO issue number 5. This is going to be the final issue of the DCKO crossover. And you guys know that this is going to lead into the next level initiative, which is going to be big things happening within the DC universe. I kind of saw something that happens here, and I don't want to spoil it. I can't spoil it. But yeah, the next level stuff, you and I have been super pumped about this since New York Comic Con and the announcement. And you just brought up Lobo, for example, but this is one that I totally cannot pass on. You also have this amazing Del Mundo cover where you can see, dude, like Darkseid looks just bomb. Like
he always looks like that. He always is this menacing guy that's like sitting on a couch kind of thing.
And is that like, dude, I don't want to say it's the best Darkseid cover, but like, man, it's really good. Like, I really like this cover, so I'm picking this one up. And of course, I'm a huge wrestling fan. I love Danny Warren Johnson, and he's been dropping some of these wrestling covers. And when you've got a superplex coming off of the top rope by Batman to Superman, I'll take it.
That's it, man. You know what? We all know Batman can beat Superman, and here he is, just off the top rope, son, with a huge crowd in the background. This is awesome stuff, man.
Yeah, Kenny Omega all day, man. I agree with Izzy. But yeah, totally picking this up. Moving on from DCKO, we also have DCKO issue number 1. So we just spoke issue number 5, but number 1 is going to a third print. And yeah, it doesn't end there when it comes to later printings, guys. I don't know if you saw this.
That's right.
DC All In Special number 1 goes to a third printing as well. And this one we need to talk about because the cover art pretty much switched from a recolor of the original of the regular first print, the Samperi cover, and now they gave us exactly, there you go. Gabe has it at hand. What's it doing there?
I just got random expensive comics all over the place.
Yeah, but it switched off, and I think this one is now already seeing some numbers on the aftermarket. I guess it caught people off guard. The last minute switch up on the cover. People were anticipating just a color swap of the regular cover A, but not the case here. This is the cover we got. It's a neat wraparound, and I'm happy I pre-ordered.
Is it a wraparound or is it just a sideways?
No, it's a wraparound.
Okay, that's cool. I like that because this is I love, you can see all the images of all the characters in the front ground. I like. We're gonna be talking a lot about Darkseid today, but I love that Darkseid in the back with the Omega beams and stuff like that going on in the background. That's great.
Yeah, no, I love this, dude. Like I said, they did the switch up last second, and a lot of people were passing on this at FOC when they saw that it was just a regular color swap. And that's something you and I have talked about a few times, how, sometimes it kind of feels lazy or whatever. But no, we end up getting a whole new cover, which is great.
Yeah. Uninspired. Yeah. But this is cool. This is cool.
So I just want to confirm something. It's oh no, it is going to be sideways. That's kind of lame, but still cool. Still cool.
It's still a cool image. It's still DC All In number 1. If you missed out, here's your chance to get it because this is such a sleeper book. Still, I don't understand how the first print isn't more sought after or more in the mouths of collectors when they talk about first appearances and important books. 89, watching. Let's go. Yeah. Well, this first appearance of all the absolutes. So let's go. Good tie into the DC KO stuff too. So
yes, it works. Seth, sorry, I corrected myself. It's not a wraparound, but yes, maybe that's what I was thinking of. It was a wraparound when it was used in the Italian variant. So there you go.
You are Italian, so I understand.
Bro. Anyways, moving on. We go to Marvel, guys. We've got X-Men Annual number 1. This one being the main cover, and obviously we have an annual, so that means we're always, we end up getting a crazy powered mutant, and we're getting the first appearance of the Creationist. Now, I'm not entirely sure how long this character is going to stick around with us, because we've seen in the past, right, when it comes to these annuals and certain characters as such, we don't always see them sticking around for quite some time. But what was the last one? Justina. I forget the last name, but I know there was Justina. So
this is a packed book, dude. Like, it's Ryan Stegman doing the cover, Ryan Stegman doing the story, Steve Scrooge Ryan Stegman and Sanford Green doing interiors. Like, I haven't read X-Men in years, but I want to pick this up just for the art, just for the combination of Stegman, Scroachy, whatever, however you pronounce it, and Sanford Green. Yeah. That's a stacked team right there.
Pretty stacked, man. But moving on from X-Men, guys, we've got an amazing cover here that's paying homage to Doom 1. We all remember this one. This one here is Wolverine issue 17, and when I saw this on FOC, it was a no-brainer. I ended up getting this. Sanford Green, just, it's awesome, dude. Like, I want to see more characters done with this homage. You know what I mean? Like, I think this paired with the Doom would look great, but like we need some more characters.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Doom has to do with this, but okay. But like you said, I like this theme of Sanford Green doing the circles, and each circle has like different depictions of that person's like history in their life.
Do you remember Doom 1?
Yeah. All that cool Fantastic Four and like Doom moments in the comic book history depicted on that cover. And that's cool. And you get some of that in here as well.
Yeah. I like that. So yeah, this is a cover grab from myself this week. Speaking cover grabs, my God, dude, Talavera with this amazing Spider-Man issue 23. You got MJ there looking fine as hell, man, with the symbiote. And then, of course, if you do want to get this as a virgin, you can do that by going to pick up the incentive, and the incentive is a 1 in 50. So yeah, you've got both options. My I don't want to say broke, but like not too far from, because my pull lists are way too heavy, but I opted out and just took the trade. Yeah. But yes, you have the option to get the virgin as well.
Where's Jeb? Where's Jeb when we need him, man? I know he's loving this cover, dude.
Pretty sure he's in line at his shop picking that's why he's not here tonight, man. But yeah, this is awesome. Love this cover. But Daredevil Punisher, The Devil's Trigger, issue number 4, has a Momoko cover as well. Now, Momoko for myself, hit or miss. Here, I feel like we've got a hit, and I really like this one, man.
It's good to see her do like hard characters, like gritty, grizzled characters, like the Punisher, and still make them look cool. Yep. You know, I think her style, like you said, a lot of times doesn't fit with, you know, characters or themes or whatever the case might be. But this Punisher is pretty cool looking, and I think she does a really good job at Daredevil. I think this style, for some reason, really works on Daredevil. Yeah. That's cool.
No, it's great, dude. Love this cover. But moving on, guys, Marvel Team Up, issue 14. That's right. It's a facsimile. It is what it is. But can you see who is the cover artist for this one, man? And I just want to give you guys a little bit of information when it comes to this, because 34 years, 3 months, and 12 days since Todd McFarlane's last new published Spider-Man artwork. That's how long it's been, dude.
On a comic book, right?
Correct.
Because he did do a cover for Overstreet for the price guide. That was a Spawn Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, I'm talking for a comic book. Yeah. And when you look at those numbers, dude, and you, like, dude, I saw this on FOC again. It was one of those where I'm like, McFarlane, and he's doing a Spidey cover with Invincible. Look at the bubble. Do you see him saying hi, Todd? He's saying hi to Todd, man. Spidey's saying hi.
It's awesome, dude. That's cool. Yeah, it's great to see Todd doing Spidey again. He does one of the coolest Spider-Mans. Like, that webbing is rad. The big eyes are rad. The broken posture, like, you know, the posing of Spider-Man that only Todd McFarlane can do and get away with. Like, this is, I'm not into facsimiles, but you're dragging me in, man. You're hooking me in with the new Todd McFarlane Spider-Man cover.
There you go. See, sometimes the covers just do it for you. And
I hate being, I'm not a cover guy, but this is getting me, man. These covers are getting me sometimes.
Yeah, one thing that I noticed Lefteros had said regarding this is that it seems that it doesn't appear to be heavily printed, and it sold out less than a week after FOC at distribution. So I don't know, man. Let's see how this one does. But yeah,
well, if I was a retailer, man, if I was ordering books again, this would be the one I would order like 50 copies of, and just a few of the others, you know?
Absolutely, man. I love this. But moving on from Todd McFarlane, you know how I feel about everything happening Energon universe related. Now, Transformers issue number 2 has gone to a 10th printing, man. And I have to say, John Amor with this 10th printing, Megatron on this cover, crazy good cover. This is gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm digging it. I've never seen this guy's art before. Like, I don't recognize it, but that image of Megatron and Cybertron in the background, very cool. Very cool. And hey, God, every time, man, every time. Shout out to Skybound, Kirkman, Daniel Warren Johnson, everybody that works on this title for a 10th printing of issue number 2 of all.
Yeah.
Killing it still. And this is the kind of thing that drives these issues and these stories and the fans, is when you keep the issues in print, right? Yeah. Like, it's hard to get a first, number 1, it sells out, and then you don't want to, it's hard to kind of stick with the series when you don't get the first issues and stuff, right? Yeah. Keep this stuff in print, and later issues follow, and they keep going. So
yeah,
good on Skybound Image for keeping this going.
Absolutely. And for myself, this is like an automatic pickup. I agree with Cliff saying that Skybound knows how to do reprints. I love seeing later prints, and as the later prints come along, I like seeing new covers, especially when they're so good as such. So for me, this is a must pick up this week. Now, one of my artists that I'm loving right now is Ito. And Ito, I feel like everything that Ito is doing is just amazing. And here we've got Autumn Kingdom, the Wraithbound Queen issue number 2, 1 in 10 incentive, beautiful cover. But man, if you're a fan of Ito, let me tell you that you've been spoiled this week. And I picked up a few copies, sadly, of this Power Rangers Prime issue 15, which was an FOC reveal variant. And oh my God, I'm so happy, dude, that I got 2 copies, and I'm like, yes, this is a win. And then I made one extra claim on a claim sale last night over at Comic Legion, so I'm at 3 copies.
Oh man, you gotta keep yourself in check, bro. You're gonna end up with 12 copies of this thing soon.
I don't know what's going on, man, but dude, I grew up loving Power Rangers, and Ito just, I feel like Ito blew this one, like completely knocked it out of the park.
That other book, I don't know what it is, but dang, that cover, it makes me want to check that book out.
Beautiful, right?
I didn't know Colin Bunn was doing another series, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's stunning, man. And even the Power Rangers one, like, dude, like I said, growing up as a Power Ranger fan, I had to pick this one up. I got Nelson in the chat asking, did you see the Ito Thunder and Red Sonja covers? Yes, absolutely. I've been all over those over at Dynamite, guys. Check them out because they're really nice, man. Really nice. But moving on from Ito, I got to talk about this very quickly, guys, and let you guys know that Star Wars Shadow of Maul number 1 is coming out this week, and it's one you might want to pick up, especially if you're excited for the new Disney Plus show that drops in 1 month from right now, to be honest. First appearance and cover of Brander Lawson and 2 Boots. Now, again, this book is going to be a prequel to the upcoming Disney Plus Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord show that is going to be, I think it's coming out April 6th, if I'm not mistaken. And dude, the show looks amazing. The animation looks great. Darth Maul looks like so badass, dude. I can't wait to watch that. And I'm not even the biggest Star Wars fan, and now I'm pumped for Darth Maul.
Dude, I'm in the same boat as you, man. I'm not a big Star Wars guy. But Darth Maul was like the coolest thing to happen from the original prequels, right? And to see him kind of just, you get like a one shot with him, and to see him come back, and every time I ever see like Darth Maul coming back, and he's got like spider legs and all this kind of weird stuff, it's awesome. So I'm interested in seeing the Darth Maul series just because I like Darth Maul so much.
Yeah,
not so much Star Wars, but Darth Maul, I'm there.
Maul is a fan favorite, Dave. I agree with you. I'm probably, I got a lot of heat for liking, episode 1. People are like, oh, dude, it's one of the worst ones. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I actually really enjoyed episode 1, but
a lot of people, man, that's where they introduced into Star Wars was episode 1.
It was my first Star Wars film that I watched in theater. So just to put that out there for you guys. But it doesn't end there. We also have one of my favorite artists, Dan Panosian, doing a cover, and you can see that little bit of red right there under that hood. So nice. So good.
And that double lightsaber is dope. The background of whatever that like burnt out city is cool, man. I hate that this is a 1 in 100 because this is rad.
It's available as a trade, so you can pick that up as well. I went with the trade. It was a no-brainer. You know I love me some Dan Panosian covers, and I had to pick this one up. But moving on, another one I must talk to you guys about is Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic Racing Crossworlds #1. Yeah, you giggle, Gabe. You giggle, but listen.
I'm not laughing, dude. I'm giggling because I love Sonic.
I know you do, but listen to this. Now, Sonic Racers variant cover depiction by Rick Mack. This is a one-shot based on the Sonic Racing Crossworlds video game, and that is a game that my kids have been playing to death, so much more than actual Mario Kart that just came out on Switch 2. They love this game. I'll be honest, I played both. I actually like this game a little bit more than the Mario Kart one, and it's awesome, dude. I picked up several copies of this variant right here. There's the cover A. There's also a ratio. I believe it's a 1 in 10. It didn't blow me away, but you know how this goes. The story goes when it comes to these Sonic ratios, man. They always tend to do very well on the aftermarket. And for me, I picked up 4 copies of this cover because I plan on slabbing one for each of my boys, and I'm going to send a third one for myself, guaranteed.
Hey, fingers crossed for those 9/8 for your kids, man.
Yeah, they're starting a slab collection in their rooms, dude.
Oh, they got the gene, dude. They got the gene.
Yeah, well, they're gonna have to start paying their own soon. I know they're only 6 and 4, but I mean, by next year, they got to be doing chores. That's how
we're trying to get a job. Time to get a job.
Exactly. But moving on from Sonic, guys, a book that took off on the aftermarket to just, I've been looking and seeing how this is doing. Narco #1, cover A. Here is a book. It's someone with narcolepsy witnesses a murder and becomes a suspect. There's also a crossover. As you guys know, there's the Invincible covers that have been coming out over at Image, and there's a nice Invincible one as well. If you guys are fans, you see everybody throwing down on that cover, which is pretty cool. But yeah, Narco's getting quite some attention on the aftermarket.
Yeah, this looks interesting. I don't know what's up with all the Pop-Tarts and the bloody chick, but interesting, man. If my shop has this, dude, I'll check it out, man. I'm looking for new books to read.
I agree with Rattlesnake. I'm going to agree with Dave. Probably a sleeper this week. Like I said, I'm seeing some action already on the aftermarket shops. We have, like I say this every week. There's a shop here that drops books. There's several shops, to be honest with you, that drop books on Tuesday nights, Monday nights, etc. for Wednesday. Obviously, no one's allowed to pick them up until Wednesday, but they sell their books online, and Narco immediately sold out. So you can see people are on.
As he said, it's literally a sleeper. That's awesome. Narcolepsy, this is a sleeper book.
But let's go. Moving on from Narco, we're gonna go to Nectar. I don't know how much more I can say, provided you guys may have watched the Top 10 show last night. But this seems like a very interesting story. Cover A right here. It's an island village off Salem, Massachusetts, is inundated by a strange species of butterflies. Now, you can see the butterfly resting on that tongue right there. We said a lot regarding this book last night. I encourage everybody to go and catch the replay. The heat on this book, this is wild because this book has not even come out up until tomorrow. And it's been the last 2 weeks that this has been heavily talked about, and you see a lot of action on the aftermarket. It went from number 9 last week on our top 10 to number 1 last night. Wow. So you have an idea of just how much this is, making an impact, making a splash right now.
It looks interesting. It looks like a good book. And I'm curious to see what happens in the aftermarket once everybody has their books. Like, hopefully shops are able to sell this at cover price. Hopefully, shops know how hot this book is and how much it's going for already. But I'm interested to see what happens once, I don't know if flooded the market's the right term, but once this gets widely released and everybody has access to a copy,
Yep. And it doesn't end there when it comes to covers. Of course, there's this polybagged cover, as you can see here. Yes, it is one of those 18 plus, not safe for work covers. I saw it. Suspiria did the cover. I mean, if you're into cowgirls, and I ain't talking the type with the hats on, different things. Well, yeah, this might be the cover for you. Full nudity, butterflies everywhere. Yummy.
Let's go.
Yep. So very nice cover. I love Suspiria and everything Suspiria does. And moving on from the nudie, well, I said this last night when I saw this on the list as well. This cover right here, dude, I think Wayshack hit a home run with this one. Like it's so amazing as a cover. Like I love this.
I almost don't want to look at it. It's kind of gnarly. It's like, but in a good way. Like, you know, art's supposed to make you feel something, and this makes you feel a little gnarly about things. This is great though. That's great. 1 in 10, man. Let's see what happens with these books, dude. I'm interested to see what happens on the list coming up with everything. And I hope everybody gets a chance to read this book and enjoy it, and let everybody know what they think about it. Because that's bottom line, and that's what this is all about, is finding good stories to read and enjoy. Everything else is just kind of icing on the cake, right?
Yeah, dude, it's a great cover, and we're gonna take a look to see how some of these books are already doing on the aftermarket immediately once we're done towards the end of the show. But one book that has been the talk of town for more than just a week, more than 2 weeks, I would say easily the last month, guys. Dork issue number 1 is now going to a second print. In fact, it's even going further than that, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. We have the second printing that is coming out this week. It is the book that, like I said, was the talk of town immediately after it dropped. I remember us talking just like we do right now, right, on the New Comic Book Day show about this one, and immediately after the show, man, the buzz. I'm not saying we had any influence, but it was amazing to see how fast this one took off on the aftermarket. Giving this a read, loved every second of this. Now, it's a fantasy series about a half dwarf, half orc who wields a powerful magical shield. Magical he is, special. Oh my goodness. Once you read this book, definitely you know what I'm talking about. But second printing, I figure if we're going to have any conversation related to this book, why not speak to the writer himself, guys? Tonight joining us is none other than Brett Bean. How are you, sir?
Hey, look at that introduction. Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm literally working on pages as I'm listening to you.
I was watching you backstage while we're having the discussions, and I saw you penciling away, man. I don't know what kind of magic you're working right now, but you seemed very, very focused and busy on that.
I gotta stay on top of it. There's too much to do all the time. So yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's
I'm
great.
most interested in the storytelling part. So it's like, that's the awesome part for me, is to like keep telling the story. So it's always going to be that.
Of course. Now I have to ask you, I mean, now obviously the book has come out. We have the second printing coming out. It's already immediately gone to a third printing. So this is great. This is great. This took off, like I was saying prior to you joining. It went from like 10 to 100 in just overnight. I got to ask you, how has this last month been for you since the release of this book?
I have had no time to think about anything or even take a breath to like appreciate the moment. So I think we might be headed even in more. So between the first and second one, so far it's been five prints in less than a month. So each one of those, I try to do a new cover. Jean is swamped with Lobo, so I was doing a lot of the colors except for this one here by Frank William. Yeah. So it's like triple duty between doing all the artwork and then the colors and then solicits and then still writing on issue 6. So I haven't really had time to really contemplate anything. Everything's the same for me though. Like I'm still making peanut butter jelly sandwiches for my kids and like waking up too early, and
the dad life doesn't go away.
Nothing's changed. Yeah. So nothing's really changed. The internet says things have changed, but for me, it feels all very much the same. I'm just behind on deadlines, and I gotta go.
Yeah, no, I know that feeling, man. You're probably walking around the house trying to like soak in the idea that like, oh my God, I have one of the hottest books right now. You're walking the house, this is on your mind, and then the wife.
I can't even say that. See, that's a weird feeling for me. Like saying, "Oh, I got a heart." This just doesn't sound.
Hey,
it sounds pretentious. If other people say it, it's kind of like a nickname, right?
Yeah.
You shouldn't give yourself the nickname. If you walk around giving yourself the nickname, you kind of sound like a doucher, right? So for me, I don't walk around with that. I'm like, oh my gosh, if it's I can affect other people's lives and people are happy with my product, that's amazing that they are coming along for the ride. But I don't walk around like that because I also think that that's, you start to believe it. And I don't want to believe it. I just want to make my thing. So,
that's good. It's not going to your head. You're not letting it, impact anything.
I'm too old to let that stuff go to my head now, man. I've been at this for so long in Hollywood and TV and film that it's like all those days are over when the ego got fed for all that kind of crap and meeting famous people and all that kind of stuff. It's like,
yeah. I mean, it sounds like we get humbled very quickly with the dad. Can you make me a peanut butter sandwich, please? Like, come on, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You're only cool for like 30 seconds to 11-year-old.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, your kids don't care whatsoever that you have a very hot book. They're just like, yeah, but can we still go get Cheerios, or can we, is there any? Well, how come our fridge doesn't have anything good in it right now, Dad? Like, what's going on?
Like, Mr. Great. Could you fix the peeing fridge? So we have a fridge that keeps leaking. Yeah. And they're like, Dad, is it good enough that you can actually buy a new fridge so we don't have to step through water? I was like, yeah, I think we'll be able to get a new fridge now. I think we'll be okay this time. That's all they care about. And then that made me cool for 30 seconds. And they were like, all right, chop, get the fridge gun.
Yeah, maybe if it goes to like a 5th print, you'll get like a new microwave too or something. Every new printing is a new appliance.
A new appliance.
That's how old we are. Where it's like, what's really cool? If you got new appliances, that's great. Not a new car, but like, yeah, can we just get a new stove, or can we upgrade?
It's like, can we upgrade? Why did you choose a rotary phone? I don't know. It just seemed like a thing to do. I'm old.
I love it. But
speaking of upgrades, Brett, congratulations on the success of the book and everything. But with the seemingly, it seems like an overnight success, but we're sure you've been working on it forever. Has this success changed the trajectory of the book in any way, whether it's story wise or production wise for the book?
Story wise, yes. So I was told fantasy is dead. My artwork is dead. It's going to be a very hard sell. At New York Comic Con, I couldn't give away some of the ash cans. So I, in fact, thought I was going to be dead in the water. And so I planned on, I have like artwork in my closet from the wall that I was going to sell. I'm like, how do I prepare myself to at least get to 5 issues? And if it still fails and I'm still losing money, I'll end at 5 and I can be satisfied and try to find something else. So I had like an ongoing idea all the way up through 20. And then I had the get out of, emergency break glass, get out at 5. So now that I feel that instead of a speculator market, which is what a lot of people talked about it being, and like, oh, your book's going to fail and, all the trolls and stuff, then you go, oh, maybe they're all right. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe everybody has me pegged, even though I don't know what any of this stuff means. Yeah. Now it feels like there's at least enough of a crowd that is truly behind it that I'm like, oh, okay, I'm still a human in here. I'm trying to make something good. Now I feel I can kind of let some of that go and go, okay, yeah, I think it's going to be sustainable. It's going to self-sustain. I can keep thinking these bigger plot lines and push things out. So yeah, a lot has changed just because it's been 50 years of pivoting. Like you do something and you're making somebody else's dream come true. You're making you're making somebody else satisfied at the end of the day. This is the first time where it's mine. And I go, oh, can I finally like relax the shoulders and go, oh my gosh, I have something that's mine that can continue.
Yeah.
That is a wholly new confidence, but also brand new after 50 years of just nothing but what's next? Oh my gosh, feed the kids, pay the mortgage.
No.
So it's new territory for me. So it's very interesting. And of course I'm Gen X. So I have a little bit of that, like, oh, it's all going to fall apart. So be ready for it.
Yeah.
A little bit of that, as well. But there's a big part of me that goes like, this would be really exciting if I could be okay and not have to worry about that. And like worry about other stuff. But that part would be awesome to let go. So, yeah.
No, that's great because now you can actually work on the book as it is, as opposed to like, can I make this work? Like, what's going to happen? What do I have to sell or anything like that? That's exciting. I wanted to thank you off the bat, just to thank you for introducing the term the rainbow runs into my vocabulary. Like,
my pleasure.
I love it. I love it. There's not a day that goes by that I don't just chuckle at myself just for the idea of the rainbow runs for eating like fat unicorn.
Excellent. That's great. You never know which thing is going to be the part that somebody gloms onto and laughs at and jokes. You just throw stuff on the wall and see what sticks. And if it makes me laugh, then I'm like, okay, let's stick it in and see what happens.
Well, that's the thing too I wanted to bring up is doing comedy, ironically, in a funny book is hard to do. It's hard to get the jokes to land or to get, sight gags to kind of work on paper in a comic book. Where does that come from with you? Like, how do you make that work? Where does your kind of comedy sense come from? And how do you apply that to your comic?
My comedy sense comes from movies and TV. And I actually I really wanted to be an improv comedy actor growing up. Okay. To the point where I almost stole my dad's car and asked my best friend to move to California with me and like just get in the car and then drive and let's go start being comedians in LA.
Nice.
He didn't show up. He backed out. And that kind of like forced my hand. I was like, I can't go alone. I was kind of going to go with the buddy and we can relate off of each other. But that was the first, like, that's what I wanted to do. And then when I eventually moved to LA, I actually did take improv classes and I went through and got on stage and did the whole thing in front of an audience and everything. And I was like, this is killer. I want to do this. And then I had a crossroads. I was like, well, do you want to go into comics and you go into this art, which you already have under your belt, or do you want to start over and go this way? And I was like, I don't know if I want to start everything over. So I stuck with trying to find the comedy in what I do now. So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. That works out, man. That's great. Dude, so many printings of this book has been coming out. Like we were just talking before we introduced you onto the show. Second print out of nowhere. It was just like first print came out, right? And then almost immediately there was like this emergency second print. That was like
I landed for my I landed in Hawaii for my 50th birthday. Because the big 5-0, you got to do something right? Of course. So we went there and met my buddies, and as soon as I landed, my phone exploded, and everybody like an image saying like, "Okay, I know it's New Comic Book Day, and you're already sold out. So where's that other cover? Let's go." Wow. And you're like, "Oh, okay." And so you're putting out fires from Hawaii on your vacation. So didn't really get a vacation. It was a lovely time, and it was a great first world problem to have have like a book that sells out before it's even out.
Yeah.
But I thought that would be it because we were all ecstatic with the numbers for the first run, and it was just like, great job, awesome job for a new writer, creator, top notch. And then it went to second printing, and then that sold out. And they're like, "You're not going to believe it." I was like, "What?" And he's like, I have number 3? Okay, let's do it." And then they said the same thing with issue number 2. And I was like, "Are you kidding me? I have to make this book. Why are you making me keep doing new covers and over and over again?" I mean, it's great, but it's like, holy crap, man. I had a whole leeway. I had a whole month I was ahead. And the entire month is now gone. Now I'm just on time if I can do it.
I swear to God, like I was telling everybody, we saw you working, as we're waiting to bring you on, I can see what you're doing, and you were putting pen to paper. And, one thing, since we're talking later prints, is now we have the second print, which I believe, Gabe, you were saying that it was very close to 25,000 copies on pre-orders on the second print for issue number 1. But then we get the third printing coming out, which I also feel, I don't think we're ending at the third printing, guys. I feel like we can see some more down the pipeline. The
third print has so many like exclusive covers too.
Hold on. That's what I wanted to say is we have these later printings. The second issue then explodes, surpassing numbers that nobody would have thought. Right, 70,000 copies was huge on pre-order. That must have been amazing.
That one was surreal. That was the one because everybody in comics, every single person, professional, producer, editor, I was like, be prepared. Everybody loves an issue 1, and then number 2 tanks up to 45%. And you're like, oh, that is a huge roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah.
And you're like, can I just taper off so I know? Give me to the third where I know if I'm steady and going, right? But then when that second one came out, I was like, well, now it can't be speculation because now it's second issue. Now some of these people have to be fans of the book. Now it can't just be the people saying, "Oh, somebody bought 50 copies so they can sell it on eBay." I'm like, I'm sorry,
Hey,
I can't do anything about it.
I don't.
So yeah, so it's very exciting that now it feels like, oh, there's an audience for this. It's not just flash in the pan.
It took off, like I said. The second print did numbers. Then we get the second issue. Then we get a second print as well for the second issue. But Gabe brought up the exclusives, and immediately we started seeing exclusives popping up for issue number 1. One of them even being Bird City, who is a co-host here, Laura, and seeing all of the exclusives. But then what really, like, in my opinion, the merch really, like, it grabbed me. As you can see, look, Gabe, stand up.
Yeah. Oh no! Yes! Oh my gosh!
The merch itself is something
I
that
just got mine in.
God, he's awesome.
Hold on.
Mine in today.
So I want to see that. Put it there.
So
there you go. That is awesome. Yes.
Look at that. Very cool.
I love this. But the merch immediately started to roll out, and I was like, oh my God, here we go. And you know what? It makes perfect sense because the characters you've created are so marketable. Dork himself, right? What a character. And even the chicken, you know what I mean? I don't want to give too much away, but mind you guys should have read it by now. But yeah, just every character, everything within this book, marketable, it's just marketable. And the merch itself, man, I'm already seeing plushies down the road. You know what I mean?
I wanted Dork so bad for my kids. Yeah. for my kids. Yeah.
My hope is because it's all stuff that I want to see, right? I've worked in toys, I've worked in character design for years, so there are things that I want to see, and I want to see a little character where the chicken head has a magnet on it, and so you can pop it off and on.
That's cool.
Yes, that would be fantastic.
And it glows in the dark too, so when you leave, the ghost head stays on, and then there's little silly things like that that I go just oh, that would be fun for me, and then hopefully it's fun for other people. So that's how I'm sort of approaching it, instead of where I think a lot of people try to follow where the money is.
Yeah.
And they follow it in that way. I'm saying oh, if I thought this book was going to fail and I still did it from the heart, I have to continue that. So I'm trying to think of things that I want to do down the road. So all the shirt designs, everything, I designed every one of those things. I didn't give that to somebody else. I was I wanted to feel like it came from me.
Yeah.
And so the merch stuff is actually very important to me too, because I wanted to feel like it belongs with what I'm trying to do. So
yes.
And that ate up an entire week of that whole extra month I had.
But totally worth it.
Thank you for it, because we got a good shirt out. I got an awesome shirt out of it.
Yeah. But like I was saying, it's totally worth it because, very marketable. And as you can see, even within the chat, people are saying yes, they want the Shield merch or whatever it may be, a plushie. Some people even saying a video game, which is something I could totally see down the road. I don't know if you're familiar with, Cult of the Lamb, stuff like that. Yeah. I could totally see a Dork video game within that style.
Or something.
And it's
I've got a lot of friends in the industry, so that's where I came from, was video games. I started out at Sony making Siphon Filter and SOCOM Navy SEAL games.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's how I started in the industry. That was my first job as a 3D environment artist. So I know a lot of guys, and so even in Hawaii, some of my buddies who showed up, there were guys I went to art school with, and we had our first jobs together at Sony. And so I started telling them, if this happens, you guys are going to be, you're my designer and you're my lead tech artist, and we're going to figure out how to do this and this and this. And I told them what I thought could happen, and they're like, oh yeah, that's doable. And I'm like, that's right. Just drop it in there, and then we'll just see, and we manifest and go, who knows what happens later on down the road. And
were you at the Sony, the San Diego studio?
I was in the Bend, Oregon one, and then Zipper Interactive in Redmond, Washington. Those are the two.
I think I worked at Sony about the same time where you're talking about Siphon Filter and SOCOM. I worked tech support for PlayStation.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So I remember all those days. That's great, man. Yeah, because you came from animation and video games.
Yeah.
Our other co-hosts who couldn't make it in today wanted to ask you about your time at Jim Henson Studios.
Oh yeah, I'm actually working on a project this morning with them. They just asked me to hop onto a new puppet design and stuff.
You have so many balloons in the air that you're trying to like just prop up one at a time. It seems like, or plate spinning. Wow.
When you freelance in Hollywood, you don't. It's feast or famine, so you don't really know when it's coming, and then you always say yes, and you make it work somehow.
Yeah.
But there's only like 2 companies that have an open door policy with me, where I tell them is like, even if I'm super busy, I will always open the door and say like yes to whatever you have. And Jim Henson's Creature Shop is like the one. It's like from my childhood, it's everything. And plus they're all creative geniuses too. So you're like one piece of this giant puzzle where you see what they do afterwards. You're like, that's amazing. So it's not just me. I get to geek out and nerd out at what the puppeteers and animators do with all that kind of stuff. So it's awesome.
That's great that you're inspired by the other people that you get to work with too.
Yeah, it's so good.
You do more work, Brett. You never stop it. We recently just talked about Ninja Turtles cover that you do.
Yes, I've got 2 Ninja Turtles covers. So I did one for them, and then I did an exclusive just for me. That'll be only available at my shop and then online, and then at conventions for me. So that was a deal I worked out with them. So it's 1-on-1. Yeah.
That's awesome because the Ninja Turtle one, when I saw it, I was like, this is going to be a guaranteed pre-order again for myself because I mean, look, we're talking about some of the things you've done in the past. And I think one big thing that everybody obviously thinks of when
you're cutting out. Sorry.
One thing that they think of when they think of Brett Bean is I Hate Fairyland.
I think my Bluetooth is catching up. Hold on.
No worries.
Are we there? Are we good? Are we caught up? Give him some noise. Let him hear.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
We're back. We're good.
Oh no.
Are
we there? Are we together?
I hear Gabe.
All right. I'm one.
Gabe, you take it away with the I Hate Fairyland.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So talk to us about your I Hate Fairyland, because it seems like with the audience that you have, a lot of it might have kind of come from your previous work, whether it's I Hate Fairyland or from other aspects. But tell us about how you got into I Hate Fairyland and how that kind of led into Dork.
Well, I Hate Fairyland was, Scotty calling me up and saying like, hey, do you want to work on I Hate Fairyland? And nice. Like, oh, those a lot of big shoes to fill. And then I thought about it and I said, like, because I was already developing Dork on my own.
Okay.
And then he asked, and I was like, well, it's a good opportunity. Let me shelve that and go jump in this and just see. And I figured like he'd be bored of me within like 5 issues. So I thought it was going to be like, you just do a couple of them, you kind of get your feet wet and you're like, okay, great. I did that thing. And then I'll go back to my story. And then it ended up being 2.5 years, 20 issues. And then I just kind of, I told him my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer, and we sort of talked and went like, all right, life is short. If I don't try to do something, I don't want to have any regrets at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so, I talked to Scotty and I said, hey, can you write me out in 5? And so we finished up. I told him of that at 15 and we went to 20. And then I just started working on that, helping my wife with whatever she needed. And then that was sort of the course for 6 to 8 months, trying to get all that up for Image and then, kind of present it and go. So yeah, it was a kind of a whirlwind, but I definitely thought that Dork would have come out 1.5 years, 2 years ago when I originally thought and planned it. But the Fairyland train just kept going and it was great. But then it was, you just get to a point. And I was like, let me do 20 issues. That would be one more than Scotty did. So I can stop right there and be fine.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'm sorry to hear about your wife. I hope everything's panning out good for her. At this
yeah,
point.
I mean, it's leveled out. She's taking pills. She's doing a good job.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those interesting things. That's just how life keeps happening, no matter what you want planned, right? And so, how do you adjust and how do you deal with the I call it getting kicked in the junk. It's like, how do you just deal with getting, life kicking you, and you're like, okay, well, do you stand back up? Do you dust yourself off? And like, how do you pivot? How do you make it work?
Yeah, it's those experiences that make life go like, oh, life is short, like you said. I need to start doing things for myself, or I need to, make things happen. Sometimes life kicks you in the pants like that, like you said.
Yeah. And as long as you learn a lesson, or you at least stop to smell the roses and think about it, they can be positive experiences from a negative.
Yeah, that's the best thing you can take out of it is what you learn. How'd you come out of it? Bad things will make you a better person. Certain traumas and stuff like that will make you a better person. And that inspires people to lose weight, or inspires people to start working out or change their lives too, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think I've learned everything from more failures than any successes.
Absolutely.
I've learned way more from my failures on a daily basis. So yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, very cool.
Well, I don't think there's any escaping I Hate Fairyland, because as you can see here, guys, we have the I Hate Fairyland team up right here with Dork for issue number 3. No escaping it. Like I said, Brett, I don't know if you heard me on what I just said. You were good?
I didn't. I'm sorry, Lando. Hurry before you cut out again.
No, he was just saying, hey, here's these really great covers that you got coming out, that the I Hate Fairyland train is not stopping. Like, you might be off of it, but you're still visiting old familiars with these great team up covers.
And this was all just accident for me. It was always in the plan for Image, but then they tell all of the creators and say, hey, we're doing this. So I knew about the Invincible one, and Ryan's my buddy. So I'm like, oh, I get to finally play in Ryan's world. Yay. And then you do that. And then the next week you get an email saying like, well, we're going to be playing in Gert's world. Do you want to go back to that? I was like, oh, really? You got another back-to-back? Oh, well, why not? Because again, it's something that I do, I'm familiar with, and I love Scotty. So I'm like, oh, of course. So it just happened to be fortuitous timing that it like was back-to-back in the next month, and my book was out. So it was all kismet.
With everything going on, are you thinking ahead of time with the book in terms of like trade paperback or like a hardcover collection coming out in the future? Have you
yeah, for sure.
About that?
That's already planned for, I think it's June or July.
Nice.
The trade paperback is already in the system at Lunar. Okay. So issue 5 is with the letterer now with Nate, and he's doing that now. So that'll be the first 5 issues. So we're figuring all that kind of stuff as we go. My hope is to just keep on trucking and do the trade paperback on the same day that the issue 6 would be out, so people can pick up if they want to read the first, if they're Netflix binger instead of a floppy reader. That's the experience I want to go for. It's you want people who want to get into it and like it. So I'm trying to work it that way, as well as still do a 200-page book with Vault Comics called Dungeon Crawler Carl that I have to also do as well. So
have you been doing Dungeon Crawler Carl for a while, or are you just doing the alligator one?
The alligator one, sorry, yeah, the crocodile one.
Crocodile one. So, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So that's what I've been on, and so we're just slowly kind of kicking that can. That one's like, I could only say yes if it was a graphic novel, not a floppy, because there's no way I could do 2 monthlies. So
that's been your only time with Dungeon Crawler Carl, is this graphic novel coming? It was a Kickstarter, right? It was
yeah, it was a backer kit one.
Backer kit one. Yeah, so it was a crowdfunded situation. That's awesome. There's always more going on with you, Carl, or Brett. I don't know what's going on. There's always so much more going on with you.
I didn't expect that much. Lando, let's see if you can talk. Lando, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm good. Hey, I can hear you this time.
We're back. I was playing with settings here, so I don't know. Maybe we fixed something.
Brett, you mentioned Nick, your letterer, and I wanted to ask a real nerdy comic book question regarding
Nate, I want to get his name right though. Nate Piper.
Nate, excuse me. I apologize.
That's okay. I should know. You don't have to know, but I should know. So that's
real nerd question here. Sorry, everybody. But the word bubbles in Dork, I've noticed they don't come to a point on the tail. They have a curve.
Yeah,
I noticed that. I'm a real comic book nerd about this kind of stuff. I don't know if that. Where did that come from? Was that a decision between you and Nate? Is there a special reason behind it? Because a lot of times word bubbles mean something when they're differently placed on the page and they're kind of aspects of things.
Yeah.
So I would say it means something that I wanted Nate to try what he wanted to try, and he says like, this is something I wanted to try, and nobody's kind of like said yes. What do you think? And I was like, well, this book is going to fail at 5. So I might as well let Nate try something that he's always wanted to try, because what's the worst case scenario? It doesn't matter.
Right.
No big deal. So of course I say yes. And I go, because that's what I want. I would want somebody who's working with me on a team setting to have the same enthusiasm for trying something a little bit different as well. Yeah. So to me, it was a no-brainer. It's just like, yeah, I'm a little scared because like it is different, and hopefully people don't care and notice. Most people don't notice anyway. But once I saw it, well, I know. But you're a nerd. We already did the deep cut nerd talk on that one.
Yeah.
But after a bit, you just go, oh, most people aren't gonna like care if it's one way or the other. You know what I mean? Right. So it doesn't hurt the book at all. So I'd much rather support Nate and trying something new and different, and pushing that. So that's awesome. That's it.
Well, cool, man. Awesome. Because I was really curious. I was like, man, I've never seen curved, tails on a word bubble. And usually, like I said, lettering means something different in different styles. Sometimes all uppercase, sometimes uppercase and lowercase. It could all mean something different. Deadpool's got like different word bubbles, right? They're like yellow. So those all kind of mean something different. So I was curious about that. What was the print run on issue 1, the first printing?
Oh, the first printing was 25.
Yeah. 25?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. So when people complain, when people say like, "Oh, we manipulated the market," I'm like, no, 25 is like way better than anybody should have as a new creator writer. That's a huge number, and everybody's like high-fiving, like, "Good job, Brett, we did it! Yay!"
That's funny.
So just kept going. So
that's funny because we made the video like we usually do every week, and we were talking about, hey, Lando was like, this might be a sleeper hit. This is gonna be a cool book. Everybody should check it out. And we got so many like fingers pointed at us that we somehow like shilled and manipulated the market. People made videos about the video. Like it was really, unusual and strange that it was like this manipulated market that we somehow was a part of, where it's just like, all we said was, it looks cool, and
it's really weird. I get DMs all the time and stuff. People trying to slide in saying like, "Would you do this?" I'm like, I am way too busy trying to make a story to care about any of this crap that you think I'm trying to do. So
and you don't see anything in the aftermarket anyways. So it's not like,
no,
hey, we made this go to $60 and new refrigerator.
Still don't see it.
But that's the thing is like on the aftermarket, I think people don't realize that the only benefit really to creators is the fact that maybe it's good publicity, but otherwise, I mean, like, you're not walking away with all that coin. Now, yes, Gabe did bring up that fact, that point. Yeah, thank you guys. I see you in the chat and what you're saying. It was not all me. But one of the things that we were saying out the gate, I was watching this at pre-orders, and once it was available on FOC, I was like, you know what, this kind of gives me Kanto vibes. I remember Kanto, having kind of the same energy here. And then obviously once the book came out, I totally went a different, direction here, and I really enjoyed Dork. But seeing it at FOC was something that I just had a lot of faith in. The artwork that you brought on that cover A, it really popped. It stood out to the point where I almost consider it for this year. It stands pretty close to, how Absolute Batman issue 1 has become kind of an iconic modern cover right now.
Don't put me in that territory.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
No. You can say like, hey, that was a nice cover. Good job. And I can say, thank you.
I know.
You can't put it in. You can't. No.
Brett, I'm doing it because I can see it being homaged very, very soon. Don't be surprised if that be the case, that people want to throw their flowers back at you, pay homage. And I can totally see it happening. But yeah, definitely were believers out the gate. And when people started, there were Reddit threads, there were all kinds of stuff. People were sending me stuff and they're like, guys, like people really think that you're to blame. I'm like, he doesn't even follow me on Instagram. How could we do this?
Yeah, it got nasty. I kind of had to turn it all off for a bit because I also try to, it's the same thing as I tell my students, and this is something I'm learning as I go, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm not, anyway, I'm the same person, and I kind of wear myself on my sleeve. And now that there's more people paying attention, it's the same thing I used to tell my students is like, if you just only write things on the internet, like you're looking somebody in the eye, you'll be okay. And there's so many people who do not live their life on the internet like they're talking to somebody, like a real human being on the other side.
Oh, for sure.
And so I'm learning that I have to turn off almost everything that I used to do. I would go to social media, talk to my friends, go on Facebook, all that kind of stuff. And now I have to like almost just turn it all away and learn a whole new system of life after this long. And that's a new experience for me where I'm like, oh no, that was a big part of my life. It's like helping people, answering questions, talking back and forth, making jokes. It's much harder now because there's so much extra good and bad. And you're like, oh, it's just a lot. Okay.
It's like, all I want to do
you guys didn't do it either. But I'll say it right here, you guys didn't do anything.
Yeah, no, at all.
Yeah. 25,000. Yeah, it was like 25,000 is not, you can't make I mean, if I had made 5,000 went, okay, let's
yeah,
let's manipulate. But 25,000 is pretty dang healthy. I did a lot of work of like calling retailers, doing big, huge calls. Like I spent a lot of time like doing my due diligence to get people invested in it. So
well, that's kind of what you have to do with an image book, right? Because you don't get like a marketing machine behind you. You don't get like your own editor. Like it's you and whatever team you can kind of put together on your own.
Yeah, the ash cans I just printed on my own. I didn't even ask. I printed them, brought them to New York, and just went, I'm going to do this. And then afterwards said, hey, can we send these out to shops? Image, I have these ash cans. She's like, oh, you already did it? I'm like, yeah, it's already done. Let's go. And then it got sent out to Lunar, and then one got sent out to each store and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I just like, that's the one other image creators asked me, like, what did I do? I'm like, oh, you just do it yourself. Nobody's going to really help you.
It's just elbow grease and nose to the grindstone kind of thing, right? Oh, you can do on your own. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Who's your comic book inspirations, art wise, or even animation? Because I see like a little bit of Don Bluth. I don't know if I'm speaking.
Oh yeah, there's definitely some Don Bluth. I would say Don Bluth. Chuck Jones is probably one of the bigger ones.
Absolutely.
Bill Watterson, Calvin and Hobbes is another one. Jim Henson, George Lucas, Guillermo del Toro. I mean, there's a lot of auteurs and a lot of people in film and TV. For comic books, I was a huge Mobius fan. I remember when I picked up heavy metal for the first time. That like blew my mind. Bernie Wrightson. I mean, I love all the guys. Chris Warner. I loved his like Predator Aliens run, and I've got Conan. I was a big Conan fan. So
Barry Windsor Smith's Conan, or
Savage Sword, and yeah. So I bought into all of that stuff. I've got a couple pages on the wall. Those are my Aliens and Predator pages from Dark Horse right there. But
okay, I can kind of see a little bit, man.
Yeah, but Bushima, the Gehenna Stone from Wolverine. I mean, I'm looking at my walls, going like, there's a lot of people that I look up to and get inspired by, and one of my holy grails is Mike Zeck page from Craven's Last Hunt, but I don't think I'll get that just because those are way too expensive for a piece of paper.
The art market's crazy these days.
It's on my it's on my not gonna happen bucket list.
Maybe after the 10th printing of Dork, you might be able to find yourself in that Mike Zeck.
There's so much smarter things to do with that money.
Yeah, that's the thing too, where it's like I can get
kids through college is probably a top one instead of one piece of paper that I can rip in half by accident.
Well, is there what's the Holy Grail page? What's the Mike Grail one that's in your head when you think of Mike Zeck?
Well, I mean, it has to be from Craven's Last Hunt. So it's one of his. It's one of the ones that, I mean, the best one is the one where Craven's screaming out and the lightning's behind his back, or like when Spider-Man's digging out of the grave. But But I even liked I like that little vermin guy too. You know, there's just so many things that I really liked about that entire thing. I remember the one it was like where he was the spider instead, and he was like eating all the pieces of the spider.
Yeah, he's eating that pit of spiders.
Yeah, there's just so many like iconic ones that one was one of the few series that switched me on that comics could be different than the monthly regular comics.
Yeah.
That one was like, oh, there could be more to this than just that. So
I remember when I read it, it also let me know like that comic books can be like a little dangerous because of what happens to Kraven at the end. Is kind of you know, like I was like, I don't know, like early teenager, like 12 or something when I read that. And I was like, whoa, like this is not the kind of stuff I expected to come out of Spider-Man. It almost must be how people felt when Gwen Stacy died. We're like, oh, I didn't know that this could happen in comics. Like, you know, comics are dangerous and, you know, it's not safe anymore kind of thing, right?
Well, even that Spider-Man versus Wolverine, you know, where that death happens in the end, you know, the punch and everything, you're like, oh, it just has a whole extra layer of, oh, this is somebody's trying to tell a real story. Not just kick the can forward for 20 pages, but like really trying to tell something. And those really kind of stuck with me. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really awesome to, you know, we obviously spoke about Dork, but now hearing your side as a comic fan, you could see, I mean, there's some, you know, deep love here for comics. And I got to agree that obviously Kraven's Last Hunt is probably one of the bigger moments. You know, Bromeo's even doing some covers right now for Amazing Spider-Man that, you know, touch on the Kraven stuff, which is wonderful. Just wanted to put that out there. But one thing I wanted to also highlight, and I have to give a shout out to, I'm sure you're going to speak to him at some point, but Jean-François Beaulieu, man, dude, the colors on Dork is just, they pop, man. And it obviously, if you've read or picked up an issue of I Hate Fairyland, you know, you're already accustomed to it, but man, on Dork, it's just, I don't know what it is. It's like next level. Colors are just amazing.
Yeah, he did a great job. Those first issues are, and we went back and forth, and I kind of like talked to him, and we kind of decided like that Don Bluth, that whole like background painterly style that he was using in Secret of Nim and stuff. And then I had very specific notes from my animation years of like what I wanted it to be when Dork loses control of himself. I want those really bright flashes of like red and yellows that aren't really in anywhere else. And so we had very specific notes, and between those two things, it sort of like really worked. And then the light and the dark, right, trying to play off of those two different color choices and stuff. So there was enough information in there that I guess probably, hopefully helped him sort of like, instead of kind of having an open canvas of going like, oh my God, what am I going to do here? It was a little bit more pointed, so it got there faster. So yeah, he did a great job.
Awesome. Well, I mean, we're going to be giving a book away tonight. I don't know if you caught that part of the show, but we're actually going to be giving away the Dork One East Coast Comics PX variant. So we're going to give that away to one of the lucky viewers here who are live with us. I'm looking at 122 of you at the moment. So with that,
wait, 123, right? I'm in on this, right?
Yeah, feel free, man. If you want to try to win,
I believe the small print is like, I must not be employed by the people of.
No, don't worry about it. Yeah, you're good.
No, I'm going to enter in myself. I don't care.
But guys, let's throw up a hashtag for everybody in the chat to put. Let's make Brett. You know what? You pick it for everyone.
Oh, I can't see anything on the.
No, you just say any word for the hashtag. It can be hashtag dork. It could be hashtag anything you want.
Oh, hashtag Mobius.
Ooh.
Hashtag Mobius.
Yes, spelled the right way too, everybody. Mobius. Done. So I'm starting to collect those comments, guys. I'll put that up for you as well. Hashtag Mobius. Good. Everyone is starting to do it. Right. Speaking of Mobius, did you ever read like Blueberry or
Giraud,
Giraud,
before, yeah, the Blueberry stuff. All the way up through from beginning to end, like all of his old his comics when he was gotten older and sort of got off of drugs and sort of just wrote about himself and everything. I was a fan. I met him once. He barely knew any English, but it was very nice. He was a very nice person to talk to, and I loved everything about his entire career and the difference between Mobius and Jean Giraud, and just really interesting life and point of view of everything. So
no, exactly. He has like his Giraud years, and then he has kind of like his Mobius years. Like when he was doing like Aliens, and he was doing all these really great, just idea driven character designs for movies like Aliens and stuff like that. Or even
he designed the original suit from Alien. He was one of the guys who did that. Roy Cobb did the machinery, and then Giger did the alien, and then there's a couple guys who ended up doing the suits and stuff like that. It was really
and it's a crime that we never got the Jodorowsky version of the things that they wanted to do together.
Oh my god, yeah. Do you see that documentary, the Dune documentary about?
Yeah, I've seen the documentary.
Nuts.
I love it. It's just because I forgot about Jodorowsky's kind of like weird ideas, and he's doing like spaghetti westerns with this naked kid and stuff. You're like, whoa, I forgot about that. That's crazy. Or then I even downloaded, because they put it out eventually, was the PDF of like his work Bible or whatever you want to call it.
Oh yes. I do remember that. Yeah.
That stuff was fantastic. I read Blueberry when I was in Portugal. Somebody gave me a Blueberry book. Nice. It was all in Portuguese, so I had to use like an app to read it. But
I lived in Portugal for 2 years.
Oh yeah, okay. I used to go out there for work. Every so often. I used to go out there. Well, what part of Portugal?
In the Algarve, so we're in Lule, near the near the water and stuff down below.
Yeah, I was in Lisbon.
Oh, okay, you're in the city proper.
And like the freshest fish I ever had came out of there.
Yeah. Portugal's great. I love the Portuguese people. So it's too good.
All the cobblestone streets and everything.
Oh my gosh! You know what really sucks? Driving a baby carriage on cobblestone streets sucks, especially if you have to go far away. I'm just saying. I learned that.
I figured I would kind of rock them to sleep a little bit more. I don't know. But...
go. Little baby head slouched back forward. Like, I'm causing brain damage somewhere.
His neck is weird now for some reason. What happened?
It's so funny because I've heard stories from my friends that told me the exact same thing. About the baby thing. That's hilarious. But guys, before we pick a winner, Brett, first I want to say thank you. Even though there was, I guess, a slight audio difficulty on my side, so I apologize for that. But I do want to say thank you so much for taking the time to hang with us tonight. One of our goals definitely was to get to know you rather than just talk the basic. Where'd you come from? What was your favorite thing, etc. Like, no, we wanted to get to know you, see how you've been since everything has taken off, and it was such a great time to kick it with you. Now, I have to ask, I know you made reference to it, how you thought that this was coming to a close, probably 5 issues in. Now you're penciling, you continue going. We all know what's happening within the book as of issue 1. With Dork, basically, there's the Doomsday Prophecy. How long is that going to drag for? What do you think right now is going to happen?
I have plans. I have plans to at least issue 20 of what I have planned. And then I have things that I plan on jumping off of from there. But I think 20 is a good spot to aim for, so I can at least then look at it and go like, do we widen the scope? Do we narrow the scope? Because as you go, you start to gauge my own interest as well, right? If you devote 2.5 years to something, you start to go down the path and go, am I still energized by this? Or what can I then pivot to story-wise that makes me excited again, so it feels a little bit fresher and new to me? Because the last thing I want to do is just sit there and just keep making books because people want me to make the book.
No,
right?
For sure.
And there has to be a balance between those two things. So I have like a very strong, energetic goal for 20. And then from there, I try to open it up to go like, I have these 2 directions. Both excite me. Let's see if it excites me in 2 years.
Yeah.
I try to be open to that stuff. So
for sure, that makes total sense. I mean, there's a few things that, like, honestly, it's crazy how just one issue.
It's one issue. I keep reminding people it's only one issue.
Like issue 2 is next week of all things.
Yeah.
I know, and I'm like, I'm
let the man cook.
Yeah, literally. But like, I'm sitting there after one issue, and I'm thinking to myself, like, man, where's this story gonna go? Like, what kind of characters are we gonna see? The introductions, etc. Like, he's apparently there's the Doomsday Prophecy. Wouldn't it be hilarious if the Doomsday Prophecy, like, something huge happens where he thinks this is it, but like all chaos breaks out, and it's like, no, that wasn't it. So he has to continue his journey.
Bigger happens.
You know what I mean? Like, there's so many ways this can go, and I'm just like, oh my god, I can't wait for the next issue. And that's something that very rarely happens. I keep saying how right now comics are very healthy, and now you've had a very big part of that in 2026. I mean, it's a hit. A lot of people love this. It was so well received, and the chaos on the aftermarket is one thing, but I think realistically the read. I know that people talk about the FOMO, talk about, there wasn't enough copies or whatever it was. These later printings are such a great opportunity for everybody to pick up a wonderful read, and I will always campaign that. I hope it goes to 10 printings so everybody can just get a copy to read, because it's just that good.
I appreciate that. I really do try to, when we do the prints, it's really to make it cheaper. There's no other entertainment that's cheaper than a cup of coffee. There isn't. It's comics.
Exactly.
It's comics. So you don't have to do the whole get the first issue A. Like, if you have the means and the money, knock yourself out. But at the end of the day, it's the story, especially to the creators. It's they're pouring their heart into the stories, right? It's the writing, it's the drawing, it's the colorists, it's the letterers, it's the editors. There's like up to 4-5 people, and they're pouring it all in, and you can't get that sort of entertainment for a cup of coffee anymore. So I love comics. It's the most pure vision of what a creative person can say with the smallest amount of team that you can say, except for a book. Technically, a book only needs one person and an editor, technically. But it's such a good marriage of all the things that I like about all the other entertainment. Comic provides all of that stuff. So yeah, story is king, and I appreciate that, because it really is. It's very special to me when I read a book that I get behind and I go, oh my gosh, I'm on board. Let's go. Let's do this thing. It jazzes me in such a different way than anything else.
Of course.
So yeah, I love it.
Of course. Well, congrats to you. And I guess we're about to congratulate someone else here in the chat, because someone's about to walk away with a wonderful exclusive that I think we all wish we could have. But Gabe and I believe we've been ruled out. So that being said, the hashtag is right there, Mobius. We're about to draw this in 3 seconds. 2, 1, and good luck to everybody in the chat. Somebody's walking away with this, and I mean, we could prank everybody as it's about to tell who's gonna win. It's this book. This is the one we're gonna cover. That it's Grizzlebees, man. Congratulations! Yeah, there you go to Grizzlebees, guys. Please make sure to reach out to Cover Price. You can get the contact information over on the website. Message them directly so you can get this copy in hand. So Grizzlebees, make sure to do that. And congratulations on the win, man. That's huge.
Yeah, good job, Grizzlebees.
Yeah, dude. He's in the chat, dude. He's pumped, man. That's great. Good.
Yeah, way to hashtag that Mobius.
Yeah, that's what a great pick. That's we got to talk about Mobius for a little bit. I don't often get to talk about Mobius on here, so thanks for bringing that up, Brett. That's awesome.
Nobody talks enough about Mobius.
No, I met Mobius once at San Diego Comic. I didn't meet him, but he was at a panel, right? Mm-hmm. Of all things, right? It was a panel from when he did the Halo comic book.
Oh yeah, that's probably not what he probably wanted to talk about too much either.
Well, the thing was that it was like Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maleev and like all these other like top, I say top tier artists, but like Mobius is like god level, right?
Right.
And everybody's asking Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maleev questions. I'm like, dude, you guys got Mobius like right there. Like he's just sitting there. Obviously, his English isn't, he speaks French better. But it was just like, here's like this god artist, and everybody's talking about Halo of all things, you know?
Yeah, that's a tough one, but that doesn't. I mean, that makes sense for San Diego Comic-Con is really that pop culture expo now, right? So really, there's a lot of people that just are fans, and they go to that con as fans of Halo. They're going to talk to the people that I guess are closest aligned to their love and their passion.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Mobius is probably a deeper cut to like even talk to about those kind of things. So,
yeah, it's just very good. Yeah, it's awkward. It's like he's kind of out of place, but he shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But you know,
he shouldn't be out of place. But yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But he's there. He's there. That's great. What lessons have you learned? You said that we talked about when things happen in life and you got to kind of pick yourself up and you learn lessons. Anything that you've learned with this outrageous experience with Dork?
Outrageous.
Well, I would say it's only been 3.5 weeks, and I haven't really gone anywhere or done anything.
Mm-hmm.
So life hasn't changed. So the lessons that I've learned are like, besides like treating social media differently, and sort of grounding myself in reality with friends and family and people that I kind of know. It's interesting to see how many people speculate and have no idea what they're actually talking about. And it's nothing against them, because I don't walk around like I'm just a monkey like everybody else. I'm not going to blame anybody for it, but it is interesting. I minored in psychology, and that part is very interesting to me, how many people come out of the woodwork to say, this is what this is, this is what this is. And I go, you're actually really proving that my book has merit with the back and forth. It's just like, maybe instead just read the book. Tell me what you think afterwards.
Yeah. Not everything has to have a dark shenanigans behind it.
Yeah, it's I would say most people are not nefarious in this world.
No.
Most people want the same things. And as soon as you go to Portugal, as soon as you go outside of your little bubble and you start seeing the rest of the world and how people live in third world countries. I've been to Africa, I've been Costa Rica. You see how real people live. Everybody wants the same 5 things. They want to take care of their kids, they want to take care of their family, they want to feel safe, and they want to be loved.
Yeah.
Why do you want to get in the way of that from anybody? That's on you. If you want to stop other people from feeling that is definitely an inward thinking. You ought to look at yourself, and you want to stop that for other people. It makes no sense to me.
Or even bring that onto yourself. Like, I'm sure everybody has a good, happy life as much as possible, but then you want to kind of bring in darkness and salacious activity that doesn't exist, and that's kind of the world you somehow want to live in, and blame that on other people and project that out, which only makes you. It's like poison, right? Poison's that one thing that harms the container more than it does anything else, right?
For sure. Yeah. It's the energy you put out is the energy you're going to take in. So it's either going to be positive or negative. And but it's a hard lesson for a lot of people to learn, especially if they're in the negative for so long they don't even realize it. It's hard. It's hard to unbelieve those beliefs that you aren't ready to understand yet. So
I think hearing what you just said about the things that people want most in life, it comes with maturity, and it comes from something you said earlier within the show, that you've learned more from your mistakes than you have from anything else, and that's pretty much where I think all that falls into. And very well said. The whole chat agrees with you, guys. I think it's safe to say that was the show.
Oh, yay! Thanks for having me. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you,
Brett. As I said, it was an absolute pleasure. Shout out to the chat. I want to shout out to CovrPrice for the giveaway, of course. Congratulations to our winner. As we said just before, of course, the second printing is dropping tomorrow. And as we were having the discussion, I was looking online. It's already at $20 American, guys. So just so you know, the aftermarket has already seen some movement there. And I don't want to be held accountable, responsible for any of that. No, we are just geeks hanging out, talking dork. Congratulations, Brett. You got $20 in your
I got one.
You get yourself lunch right there. Look at that.
Yeah, man. But
actually, I just walk around to a sandwich shop and I said, "Can I get a sandwich if I give you this comic?" And they're like, "Who are you? You've been in here every day this week. We don't care."
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, before we go, guys, I just want to ask that you all keep an eye out for our new FOC and new Comic Book Day articles on Cover Price. There's going to be some slight changes regarding the lists, etc. Moving forward each week, this new format will feature Lefteros' picks still, but Cover Price, our team as well, is going to be making picks, and we're going to be looking at the top trending books by value. So make sure you're getting the daily Cover Price emails, or check out the latest content dropping on the site every day. If you're not a member yet, sign up at CoverPrice.com. Make sure to come back tomorrow, of course, because Comics Covered is going to be going live with Matt and John tomorrow. And then we have the Shakers on Thursday, where Gabe is going to be hosting. Laura won't be there because she's at Emerald City doing her thing with the Bird City crew. So shout out to them. But yes, Gabe's hosting Thursday night, featuring the most interesting books that have hit the all-time highs on the aftermarket. So you can bookmark those shows now. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe. Brett, it was an absolute blast.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
And I love that Izzy in the chat still feels bad for walking right by you. I knew you're Comic-Con, so shout out to Izzy.
You should, Izzy. I'll never forgive you for this.
Yep. Butthead. Yeah, you remember that.
And welcome back anytime.
Butthead.
Brett, you got an open invitation. So like when issue 3 comes out or whatever, if you want to kind of jump on and chit chat about it, we're here to listen.
Sure, yeah. As long as I can come in and give Izzy a bad time about how much he sucks.
That's the way.
It's fine. It's cool. Right.
He does suck.
You're back anytime after that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But all right,
Awesome.
guys.
Thanks for having me.
Have yourselves a good night. We'll catch you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Adios.
Peace.